In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to export a MIDI map of a loop performed in the Dr. Rex loop player. Once you've exported this MIDI map, you can import it into Pro Tools, have it play back on the Dr. Rex module, and change the notes around and do all kinds of fun stuff. So, first off, what is Dr. Rex? Basically, it is a bunch of audio samples that are sliced up, and each sample is triggered by a MIDI note. And if they're triggered in the correct order and at the correct rate, they'll form a pattern. Here's one of the patterns that comes up when you first open the Dr. Rex module. So if you look at this map here, some of the samples take more time and some take less. So the MIDI notes come in at different intervals to connect those together in time. It'll make more sense when you see it in Pro Tools. So I'm going to first find a loop that I like, so I can browse the loops by clicking on this folder. And I see a bunch here. I think I'll go here and straight and choose something like this. Let's see what this sounds like. That'll be good, something straight ahead for this demo. Alright, now that I've chosen the loop, I simply go to File and Export Rex as MIDI file, and it will take the MIDI map of that loop and export it. So I need to give it a name. And I think I'll put this MIDI file in my session folder so I know where to find it. Alright, we don't want to change anything here. We want this exact loop to stay in Dr. Rex so it gets triggered by the MIDI from Pro Tools. So now I'll go over to Pro Tools, and if I open my session folder, I see there's the MIDI file I just made, and I can either put it in my clip list or I can drag it directly into the Rex drums instrument track, since that's kind of MIDI track. So I'll start by throwing it in the clips list. It'll ask where I want it. I'll say OK. And now I can simply drag this MIDI clip right into the track, and you see this stair-stepping of notes, and some are longer and some are shorter. That matches exactly the length of the audio files in the Dr. Rex module. Let's bring that up so we can see it next to it. Okay, so here's this file, and you can see that this slice here takes more time to play, so it's got a longer MIDI note. So we should be able to press play now in our transport, and this MIDI file will play back and trigger those slices. Okay, so now we can take this and we can repeat it, cut and paste it, play around with the notes, do all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to trim it down, copy it, and if I go to Notes View, I can go in and start editing those notes. And we should hear the proper slice triggered when we click on a note. So if I wanted to, I could go here. You can hear each slice. Maybe I'll take this one, take these and move them to that slice. So I'm actually changing the note, and it's playing back a different slice now. So I'm changing what the pattern's going to be. Okay, so now you basically have a drum machine with all these samples, but they're also mapped to a groove because they come at different times to connect together to make the one groove. It's a very cool way of working with audio and working with patterns.